and welcome to Add More Zest. And my name's Rebecca, also known as 4Kids at 147. And it's time for a WIP and Waffle. We are on Mr. Quackers this week, and it is a square that I have with quite a bit of white, but we do have quite a bit of colour on this one as well. So it's not too bad. We're sort of getting to the point where we get a lot of his body, which is quite good. He's got cute little feet. So I am really enjoying doing this one. I have a very apt tray for this one today. We'll see if it matches any of the DMC colours that I'm about to put on the painting. I'll be sure to shout up if it matches a DMC colour, and then you guys will know if we happen, you know, what DMC colour the tray matches. I'm not sure that we have an exact match in here just because of the shadings, but I'm going to start off with the white. I know it's not the first square that I come to on here. The first square is actually the symbol V, but when I have a section that has a lot of one colour, I do like to start with that colour, because then I find the filling in the gaps, I find that the fun part. I do really enjoy filling in the gaps. So let me zoom you guys in, because I might have to try and move this over a little bit. I'm hitting my light a little bit because the canvas is quite wide. But just to confirm, this is Mr. Charlie Quackers. That's not what he's called on Diamond Art Studio, where I got him from, but it's what I've called him, Mr. Charlie Quackers. I got this painting from Diamond Art Studio UK. It is a licensed art, and the original artist is Splatterworks. Yeah, so Catherine Williams from Splatterworks. They do have a few different animals. I think there's a couple more due to come out. I know they have a horse, but I did fall in love with Mr. Quackers and I had to have him. We do also have the amazing offer for you guys of a discount code for Diamond Art Studio. So if you use the code ZEST10, that will get you 10% off an order. So if you want your own Mr. Quackers, or whatever you want to call him, I know somebody else is doing one at the moment. I'm trying to think what she called him. It began with a J. Was it Jeremy? I'm not sure. I'm sure somebody will tell me. I do remember reading it, that they were currently working on it. In fact, they're well ahead. They're up the top of the painting. But they did call their little duck a different name. But it's a really nice painting to work on. It is available in squares and rounds. I've got square. It was a painting. Normally when I buy from other companies, quite often, if I've not particularly done a lot of paintings from another company, or I've never tried them before, I do often start with trying a square, because that can often be a harder one to get right. And if they do a really nice square painting, then you'll probably find that any of their paintings, including the round ones, will be nice quality diamonds. And this is really nice quality. I am actually really enjoying doing this white as I'm doing it at the moment. And that is because the painting that I'm working on through the week is actually one from another company, and it has a lot of white, and I got it in square, and their squares, the diamonds are awful. I mean, I say awful, they're not awful enough to not do. When they're all on the canvas looks okay, but I would definitely not call them nice. diamonds. So it's a really nice change to work on this one, which is, in my opinion, nice diamonds. They fit together really nicely. There's the odd one, as you get with any company, that's, not quite usable. But there is nowhere near a load of diamonds that aren't usable. I have tipped all my whites into this tray that I had left in my pot. I'm kind of hoping it's enough whites to do this section, but it might not be. If it's not, I'm going to have to sneak back out and get my spares from my cart. But yeah, so that's the painting I'm working on today from Diamond Art Studio. If I remember, when I get this ready for upload, I will pop a link to the website for you so that you can have a gander yourself if you like. It's quite a nice big size diamond painting. Excuse me, I think I'm gonna sneeze. Oh, excuse me. Oh, there goes my diamonds. Okay, let's give that another reshake to try and make sure they're all... Oh, that was too harsh. I did so well then, and then I gave it another knock too harshly. Okay, I think we've got most of them lined up. So this yellow tray, this is from my website, which is addmorezest.com. It's in the bottom corner. This is the tray that we have just announced as one of the new products for September, of which you can sign up for the wait list. They will go available for sale next Saturday, the 11th of September. So if you want yourself a bright coloured tray, then get yourself signed up for the wait list, because trays do tend to go fast. And I'm sure this one will be no exception. And then the pen I'm using today is also one that's available on our website. It's like an alloy. It's quite light. It's fairly light for a diamond painting pen. It can take another tip, but at the moment I've just got a normal tip in it with a glue dot, and this is the silver one. And then of course I have my pieces of cover paper, of which I've taken one off. It's to the side and it will get moved further up when I'm done. I only tend to put 2 rows of cover paper when I'm working on a large painting, and I keep the clear cover for the rest, and then I just move it up, move the cover paper up and take, a strip off. It allows me to keep rolling up the diamond painting when I'm not working on it, which is great for the likes of Mr. Quackers and Minions that I'm currently working on WIP Chats, until I have some time to work on them in my own time as well, which won't be for a bit yet, but we'll once I've got some other paintings done, I'm sure I'll be able to go back to getting some more of these done. Okay, so let's have a look at the comments that I've still got from last week's WIP Chat. So last week I was doing a Heaven and Earth design as part of my WIP Chat, so some questions may be based around Heaven and Earth design, and I'll be doing a Heaven and Earth design next week is the plan, so it'll alternate between the two. I did also discuss that we had been away last week. My hubby and I took a short break to Edinburgh, and the cat lady, she has replied and said she did get pinged by the NHS app when she came back from Scotland too. So for anybody that is not in the UK, our health service, or our National Health Service, NHS, has an app that you can sign into or have on your phone. And what it can do is, I don't know how good it is. I have heard, some people find it's a little bit too sensitive. But it sort of notices where you are. And if somebody that you have been in the vicinity of tests positive for COVID-19, then the app will ping you to let you know that you have been in contact with somebody. Now, notification from the app, even if it advises you to isolate because you've been in close contact, is not a punishable by law thing, I think. I'm pretty sure. It's more of a guidance thing that you've been near somebody. If you're contacted by the track and trace service by phone, then you do have to isolate if advised. But yeah, we got pinged by the app because my husband and I are both, we were both there, even though I'm the only one with the app. He works in hospitals all the time, so there's no point in him having the app because he wears full protection gear all the time he's at work, and his phone's not going to know that, so he would get pinged lots of times. But he tests regularly anyway. But yeah, because my husband and I have both been fully vaccinated, it is now the rule in the UK that if you have been fully vaccinated and you have been advised that you've been in contact with somebody with COVID-19, if you haven't got symptoms yourself or you've not tested positive yourself, then you don't have to isolate. But we did go and get a test and it did come back clear, so it could be that we weren't in close proximity. Who knows? But I suppose that's just the thing about going to a big city where there are lots and lots of different people. There's a few things we did while we were there. We did a whiskey tour and we did a comedy show, and of course we sat down for meals. So it could have been any of those things that made the app ping. Even when we had a meal sat outside, it could have been that due to the proximity. We don't know. But we're all clear, we're all good. But yeah, Cat Lady said she got pinged when she came back, but due to the rules at the time, because it's only just changed that you don't have to isolate if you're double vaccinated, only changed in August. They had to isolate for 4 days. It wasn't around. She did do a test and it was clear, but she still had to isolate for those few days. But the rules keep changing. Things keep changing about what's happening, but all we can do is take the steps that we can do. Hubby and I sort of avoided going anywhere, while waiting for our test results anyway. Because at least then we knew, we weren't potentially putting anybody else at risk. But the results came through in less than 24 hours, so we didn't have to wait long. Okay, that's enough of that worldwide topic. I just wanted to explain how the sort of app works for people that are not in the UK. It's the first time I've ever been pinged by it, but then again, I hardly go out. At the moment anyway. I do nip places now. I do find since I've been to Edinburgh and been out for that length of time, I am finding it easier to nip out to places. But I still limit to a certain extent where I'm going. So Lindy says she has a question about the Heaven and Earth Design canvases. Did you order blank canvases and buy their charts separately? So yes, for the two that I do via WIP Chats, which is the one I did last week, my mini, is it Beautiful Light, and then my Little Dreamer's Tree. For both of those, I bought the chart and then I bought the canvas separately. In both instances, I bought them from AliExpress. The first one, I can't remember exactly where it was I bought it from, but they were really good. I probably have an unboxing with a link on it in my Heaven and Earth Design Massive Project playlist. It will be, of course, right near the beginning when I was getting the stuff to give it a go. The first one came, I say, it's been in great quality. They were able to do a canvas at 2.5 meters long because that's one big painting. And the only thing that I wasn't happy about, which wasn't their fault, it wasn't like they advertised it wrong or anything, is that the every 10 centimeters was not marked on the canvas with like a bolder line to let me know each grid of 10 by 10. So because of that, when I got the second one, I decided to try another company. I think it was called Calvert Crafts. I decided to try another company. I messaged them in relation to the size I needed and asked them for a price. They gave me a price for that one. However, they also had a stock item for a canvas that was bigger than what I needed, so I would have excess. It was for bigger than what I needed and it cost less. So rather than get them to make me a canvas the exact size I needed, I chose to get the bigger one and cut the excess off because why not? I saved pennies. So I did that. Then they tried the scam that some companies do, trying to tell me that shipping was more expensive and I needed to pay more because of the shipping, etc., etc. I don't like that from companies that try and increase the price on you in that way and the way it was said. So I just turned around and said, no, I'm not paying any extra postage. I've paid the price. I've paid what you've listed it for. What, in fact, it was still listed for. I'm not paying any more. If you don't want to send the item, then cancel the order. To which, then being called out on it, they were like, no, we'll send it. And to be fair, it arrived super quick. However, because of the what I call mini scam that they tried to pull to get more money after an item had been purchased, I was not willing to post a link to their site and recommend them in relation to sales because I don't think they should gain more sales from it being a company I got a canvas from if that's the stunts that they're going to pull. But there are plenty of sellers on AliExpress that do canvases for a Heaven and Earth design if you want to do it from the chart. I have since also purchased a chart or a canvas directly from Heaven and Earth Designs. They have now started the option where you can get a canvas with the chart printed onto it. So you just buy the canvas and then you have to get your own diamonds, same as you do if you buy the chart. I have since purchased, I think, 3 of those. 2 of them are Megan's. One, she got the chart printed in colour, and one, she got it printed in black and white. And then I got one with the chart printed in black and white. So if you prefer to have a chart on the canvas, that is an option to get one directly from Heaven and Earth Designs, have one of their stunning images, but in an easier form, because it's directly on the canvas. And I'm hoping, dreaming, it's probably going to be months away, to maybe bring that Heaven and Earth design into my mix as well. I'm not sure. I'm trying to, at the moment, get comparison projects finished. So I've still got a custom comparison. I was hoping to get it kitted up last week, but it didn't happen. So I want to get that kitted up this... Oh, that didn't help. I've just knocked all my diamonds off in my tray. Oh, picked up 2. Bonus. Yeah, I'm hoping to get that kitted up this next week so that I can show the custom paintings that I got in a smaller size. And I also want to complete the fox from Willow Arts, I think. The fox from Diamond Art Club and Mindfulness Diamond Painting. I'm hoping to get those done, and I'm trying not to do any other projects until they're finished. And then I might even try and get, you know, some more of Mr. Quackers and Minions done before I kit anything up. We'll see. I'll probably want to kit up a small project in between, because I do like doing some of my small projects. But I do have some unboxings coming up for some special items, or some off the canvas items, as I like to call them. So maybe I'll do some of those in between doing some of the big ones, and see how long I can last before I really want to kit up a small painting. I like the satisfaction of completing a small painting in between doing bigger paintings. I find it so satisfying when, you know, I'm able to get little ones done as well. It's like an achievement finishing a diamond painting, and it can break up from doing a big one and can stop it feeling as though, you know, all you're constantly doing is one big painting and feeling as though you're getting nowhere. I do have a new glue dot in this pen, so every now and then it gets stuck to a diamond, but it's not doing too bad. It's doing pretty well. Okay, what do we have next? So, Hello Queen Crafting said she started Mini Winter Wonderland as a Heaven and Earth design in January. She's doing it partly from her spares and partly from a kit that she purchased that the canvas got ruined, so she's using those diamonds. She said it was the kit itself was differently charted and a different size to the Heaven and Earth design chart, so it's helping her use up some of those spares. Well, that's good. She's 28% done. That's definitely more than me on one of mine. I keep watching the percentage. I think I'm going to have a little mini party myself when I reach past 50% on my Heaven and Earth designs. 28% done. She just pulls it out of the rotation and does a 4x2 square, whereas I do a 3x2, so she does slightly bigger, because that's what fits comfortably on her phone screen. And yeah, I do find using the Pattern Keeper app, if you're doing a Heaven and Earth design from a chart, using the Pattern Keeper app is so much easier to do. It's so much easier to track. And if you do the size that fits nicely on your tablet screen or phone screen, however much zoomed in suits you, or even sometimes just do it as a 1x1 square when you start, just until you get a feel for how it works and get yourself a little rhythm. And it can be a nice, satisfying way of doing a diamond painting. But as I've said before, don't see it as a quick project, because it's not. So if you see it as a long-term project, maybe that you're going to do alongside others, I think that's the easiest way to look at it, and you don't end up getting disheartened, you know, because it's not getting finished as quickly as others do. It definitely takes longer to do. Okay, Donna. She says, I hope you can help me with a question, because she thinks she might be losing her mind, but maybe not. Okay, Donna, let's do our best. She's been using an A4 light pad by the brand Lit Energy that she purchased from Amazon. When she turned it on, it's completely white all over the surface, which is great. She decided to upgrade to an A3, which she purchased from Amazon, but the brand is Art Dot. Kind of fell out with Art Dot, but anyway. The light pad is all over black and white dots or pixels, even at the highest level. She said this would drive her bonkers if her diamond painting was smaller than the pad. Her eyes were having trouble focusing after 5 minutes of looking at it. As some light pads are some light pads made that way? Yes, there is a different. Some do make them in a different way. So some have what's called like an all-over light, and they tend to be, in general, the more expensive brands. Not always, but they do tend to be the more expensive ones that will have an all-over light. And I don't know whether it's the amount of dots that they have, i.e. they have so many more dots in such a small space that it looks like one complete light. But there are definitely some that do dots that are dots, and you can, when you look at it, you can purely see that they are dots. She said it does say it can be used for any type of tracing, which she finds hard to believe, because when you put regular paper on top of it, she could barely see through it. So she said, sorry this is long. She said, I watch you all the time and I thought you might have some insight on this topic. Yeah, I say there are two different types, really. I mean, it might not be types as such, but there are some that do the dots closer to one another. So, you know, it looks like one light. And then there are some companies that they're a bit further apart. Now, quite often when you put your diamond painting canvas on the light pad, you can't actually really tell. Like, they both do the job that they're supposed to do by having, when you've got your canvas over the top of it. But I can understand completely how, if you've got a gap around the edge, how you feel as though that is distracting. I find a gap around the edge distracting whichever type of light pad it is. So whether I have one, my main battery light pad, the first one that I got, the more expensive one that I got, you can't see the dots on that one. But I still find it distracting personally if, I've done it again, I'm going to knock my tray. I find it distracting if there's any of the light showing. So quite often what I do for that is I either reposition my canvas if I can to make sure that it's all covered up, or I will put a piece of paper or sometimes even another canvas, depending on the size, around where it is that I'm working so I don't see that light. But the ones with the tiny dots are a little bit more distracting than the ones that are a solid light. And I think it's just down to the quality of the light pad and how many like LED lights they've put in it. I think that's what can make a difference. But yeah, I'm sorry that it's ended up to, you've got yourself a bigger one and it's not what you used to, because that can be frustrating. The only thing I can suggest is if you do want to find an A3 light pad that does not have those dots in any way, then you're best asking on the likes of the Facebook group for people's recommendations for ones that they have, and whether it has lots of mini dots or whether it's one clear light surface. I think I'd have to actually look at each of my light pads to confirm which one is which. And I don't think it shows it too well in pictures on the likes of Amazon. But no, you're not losing your mind, just to confirm. Okay, so Marilyn, she says she's just tuning in and she got a wee bit lost on the bit about pen and wax. And what is ABs and what is a glue dot? Okay, so with a diamond painting kit, quite often when you first get your kit, you will get the likes of a pink pen. Tends to be pink, occasionally it's clear, but more often than not, pink pens are the common ones. You will get a pink pen and you'll get a little pot or a little square section of normally pink / red or blue, sometimes blue, wax. And that's what you stab, your pen into to put inside the tip. And the wax picks up the diamonds, a bit like this, picks up the diamonds, but it's not too sticky. It's sticky enough to pick them up and move them about. Quite often, see that one's got stuck, quite often, tacky enough for you to wave your diamond dot about. But it's not too sticky that when you put it down on your canvas, the canvas is stickier, so it keeps hold of the diamond and allows you to move the pen out of the way. So that's what you get in a standard diamond painting kit. Now, quite often the wax, because it is a light tack, it can need refilling, partly because it pushes its way through the pen, through the whole pen tip over time, and it can also just lose its stickiness from picking up bits of dust or something, minute particles off the actual drills themselves, and it can make it lose its sticky a little bit, so you have to refill it, which is completely fine, and the way I did it for at least 3 years. However, somebody did, I don't know who, somebody somewhere, maybe it was more than one person, did try putting a glue dot, so a little micro glue dot or two, inside the end of the pen instead of wax. So instead of using the wax that comes with the kit, they put a glue dot in instead. And glue dots primarily are a little bit more sticky. Hence you can hear the little click, and occasionally this is, as they pull off the sheet. Also, occasionally they do get a little bit more stuck to the diamond than the canvas will pull it off. But they last a whole lot longer between having to top them up or change them. And quite a few people who diamond paint a lot have enjoyed changing to glue dots, because then they don't have to stop diamond painting to spend the time to refill the wax. So that's what I mean by using a glue dot. So this one has a glue dot in it. If it gets too sticky, I can just dab it on my clothing, on whatever I'm wearing, and it helps to pick up a little bit of, fluff off my clothes and makes the glue dot a little bit less sticky, which makes it easier to move diamonds. And of course, I've just dabbed it on my clothes and I've picked up Just a little bit of fluff that keeps sticking out. Let me get rid of that. So yeah, that's what we mean by glue dots. I do have a tips and tricks video on glue dots. So by all means do check that out, where I show you the ones that I've been putting into a pen and giving a go. In relation to ABs, so you can get some diamonds that have what we call an aurora borealis. I think that's how you pronounce it. It's probably not. They have a coating on them that's like an iridescent coating. So if you move it certain ways, you get, you know, the rainbow effect of colours. Some diamonds will have a coating of that over the colour that they are. So white ones will have a coating that'll look different to a blue one with a coating. And some companies provide AB diamonds in with their kits. So if you've seen my Minions WIP Chats, that has AB coated diamonds in it. It has 2 or 3, and it can add an extra little bit of sparkle to a painting. But the coating that they have can sometimes come off because it is like a top coat. It's not part of the whole diamond. And sometimes if you use a glue dot, not all the time, it can depend on how sticky the glue dot is at the time, but it can pull that coating off a little bit. So I tend to use a really light type of wax when I'm placing the AB diamonds, just so that I don't end up pulling the coating off with my pen. Better to be safe than sorry is what I tend to say in that one, because I don't want to risk losing my extra shiny coating, because I like my extra shiny coating on my AB diamonds. Sharon Dunk says she has a question. She has a couple of Heaven and Earth design charts that she would like to do, but not sure how or where to buy a canvas. So I've always got mine from AliExpress. If you're on Facebook, if you go to the Heaven and Earth Design diamond painting Facebook page, there's often recommendations. If you do a quick search for canvas, there's often recommendations there, and they're more up to date about the best place to get a canvas from currently, like the best place you can try. But you do need to work out your sizing as well. Now, there are details in their files on how to do that. Have I got any diamonds left? No, I've not. Okay, I need some white diamonds, so bear with me and I'll be back, Abby. I'm back. Okay, this is all my white diamonds for this painting. I have had some sort of explosion in here. I'm guessing I have a bag that is not sealed up properly, so can you see all those floating around in the bottom? I'll deal with those when I'm in the right frame of mind to deal with those, which is not currently. But I have that bag that holds all the 3865 because, of course, there is lots of them. There's a lot of white around the painting, though it's not completely blocky because we have these splatterings of colour. And then all the other colours that I have extras for are hung off the edge of my cart on a book ring. But yeah, I did need to fill these up, so I've not popped as many in this time because I haven't got as big an area to do. But it's really easy to top them up. And I could potentially add, oh, that one has got a little knob on it and it's knocking my other one out the way, so let's get rid of that. Yeah, I could add extra little storage tubs because I'm using these storage containers from Star Raw, and you can add ones onto them. I could add some more to hold more white, But I actually don't mind just grabbing the bag and filling it up as I go along, because it does let me, it wasn't full before I started this, so it will let me do, you know, 2 or 3 sections before I have to fill it up. And I don't mind doing that. If I had to fill up the pots, you know, halfway through a square every time, then I would add more pots on. But sorry, Sharon, back to yours. Yeah, so the Facebook group for the Heaven and Earth Design Diamond Paintings will give you sort of the best providers of canvases if you need them in sort of an exact size. Otherwise, you could work it out as being, so what you'd need to do is you'd need to take the amount of stitches across and times it by 0.25 to get how many centimetres you need, and of course round it up to a full centimetre. And you could just do what I did on the second one, which was ordered a canvas that was a lot bigger than what I needed to make sure I had plenty. And I just ordered it from a standard listing on AliExpress. You could do that if you've purchased from AliExpress before. You could have a look and see, you know, if a supplier that you were happy with offers blank canvases, and do that. Or if you do want to order one that's more of a specific size, or it's not a size that's available, then in that Facebook group they do also have like a helpful file, and it will even give you sort of a template to message AliExpress sellers with requests for a canvas, and it does it in nice and clear English, because English isn't their first language. While they will respond and reply to messages in English, because it's not their first language, it's not necessarily something that's easy for them to understand. And if they use the likes of a translator app, it's better to use what we call simple English than complicated words, just to make sure that it translates correctly for them into their own language. So there is actually a template there that you can use to ask sellers for a price, and they will often come back with that in dollars. So if you are in another country, you will need to do a quick conversion on Google, and bear in mind that, you know, it could be a few pounds either way, depending on the conversion rate that AliExpress uses. Margaret, she says, great to hear that you have something amazing planned for the Christmas Advent. She can't wait to see the canvas, and looking forward to hearing more details. So yes, we're very excited for the Christmas Advent this year, just because we have, you know, made plans to bring in something a little bit different this year. I hope it will go down well with everybody, but we're hoping that we'll be able to announce more details of that in the next month or so. So stay tuned for that. I'll be sharing as soon as I can. Right, let me get these whites out. Okay, now we get to do colour. So now I am going to start from my first square in the bottom, and that's going to pick that I'm doing the colour V first, which is a peachy colour. Yeah, we're very excited about the Christmas Advent this year. It's going to be a lot of work, but I think it's going to be good. But anybody can join in the Advent, regardless of whether they want to do the same canvas as I am or not. You can do a canvas from your stash. You don't have to purchase anything to listen to me waffle through the month of December about all sorts of random stuff while we do a diamond painting, a little part of a diamond painting each day from the 1st of December to the 24th of December. It's our adult advent calendar, is what it is. It's purely for us diamond painters to enjoy. Okay, what have we got next? Amanda. She says, hi Rebecca, I've been using the micro glue dots for a while now and I've been really pleased with how they work and how long they last. She said, however, I am halfway through a diamond painting and she's found she's constantly having to replace the glue dot as it's losing its stickiness very fast. She's baffled as to why it's happening. Do you have any ideas? So there could be a couple of things for this depending on when it's losing its stickiness. So when you say that it's constantly having to replace it through this diamond painting, are you having to replace it when you're actually working on it? So i.e. you've not stopped working on it, it's not been 24 hours or more, you're just plodding your way through and then all of a sudden it stops losing its stickiness. If that's the case, then it's likely, highly likely, if you're replacing it more than you used to, is the diamonds. So some manufacturers, and I have seen it, I think it was a set of, I had some very dark brown that had an extreme coating of this on them. But it's like a talc. It's as though the diamond painting or the diamond making process, they put some form of fine talc on it at some point. Whether that then has to be rinsed off later on or not, I'm not sure on the exact process of how they make diamonds. But I have had some, or whether it's just been added on, in effect by accident in the process. I have had some very dark brown diamonds before now that had like a very, very fine talc over like what felt like all of them. They were all coated in something. Now the talc, that's what I'm going to call it, it's talc, I don't think it was, but the talc came off, so you could rub the diamond and it would come off. But of course it was very, very hard on my wax at the time that I was using because the coating would stick to the wax and therefore it, the wax ended up getting clogged up and I'd have to refill my wax constantly. Now it was a dark brown diamond so I could see it. It may be that you have, oh look, see I did miss a V. I had a look for them as well and I've still missed one here. Okay, I'll go diving in the pot in a minute to fill that one in. Yeah, so you could find that the drills have got some form of coating on them if they've not done it before. If your glue dots have been fine before but it's only for this diamond painting, it could be that. The other thing I have noticed with the likes of the glue dots is because I tend to just diamond paint on an evening, I have tended to find that it's as though the glue dots can sort of dry out a little bit and therefore lose their sticky a little bit between the evenings that I'm diamond painting. So the glue dot and the pen can be completely fine throughout my whole evening of diamond painting, but I go and pick up the pen the following evening and the glue dot doesn't seem sticky anymore. And the only thing I can think with that is that it is drying out because the pen's in the open air in my diamond painting cart. It's not sealed in any way. It's just left out to the indoor elements. What I do in that instance is I tend to take the glue dot or 5, however many I happen to have in there, I tend to take that out of the pen, give it a little rub between my fingers and put it back in the pen. And I then have a different part of the glue dot front and centre, and then that will give me enough stickiness to do it the whole evening. So it sort of does depend if you're finding it in the middle of diamond painting. So like if I found now that this pen all of a sudden was not sticky at all, then I would think there would be something on the diamonds. But if it's when you've had a gap, you know, you've gone bed and you've got up in the morning, you've gone to diamond paint, then it could be that it's dried out a little bit. I haven't yet tried, you know, putting cling film over the pen or something, or maybe putting it inside a pencil case or something like that to see if that will stop it drying out. I've not tested those things yet, because at the moment just pulling the glue dot out and putting it back in seems to work. And by the time I've finished diamond painting, I don't think to put the pen somewhere different, because it's normally quite late at night and I'm due to go to bed. So my brain doesn't comprehend, oh yeah, I should do something with this pen. So maybe that'll help you. It depends on which it is. But I hope that helps. I hope that helps some other people as well. I think that's it for the comments and questions for this week. I've had quite a few comments on the tips and tricks in general. I tend to keep hold of, in my YouTube, it gives me a list of comments sort of dated as to when they were left. So I do try and reply to comments left on other videos that people ask questions for, because there's no guarantee that they will watch my WIP and Chats and hear the answer. But if you leave a question on a WIP and Chat, then I tend to answer it in my next WIP and Chat. And then you'll know when I'm filming my WIP and Chat, because I'll put a little heart reaction to each question as I answer it. It's my way of tracking it. I find it much easier than writing the questions down or copying them into a Word document or something, to just answer them directly from YouTube, because then I can also, you know, make sure that I'm saying who it is that's asked it and try not to miss any. But the tips and tricks series seems to be going well. I've had quite a few people recommend tips and tricks as well, which is great. Some of them are on my list already, some of them weren't. And I'm still going to try and hit 100. We'll see how quick and easy that will be. I know I have loads more tips and tricks to give. Sometimes I can forget what they are. I'm much better at, I much prefer giving tips and tricks sort of as I'm going. You know, they're sort of part of the WIP and Chat when I come across something or get reminded of something, or a question, you know, reminds me that I can answer. So sometimes it does take a little bit for my brain to realise, oh, that is a tip and a trick, not just answering a question. But I'm still going for getting 100. I'm going to keep going as much as I can, and hope that the tips and tricks either just come to me or come from you guys and I can pass them on. But yeah, I've got quite a few at the moment, but I haven't hit 100 yet, not in my little write down sheet anyway. So I'm going to get there as close as I can to 100, and maybe they'll just slow down later on in the year when I'm struggling to reach 100. We'll see. I'm not going to get them all done this year anyway. I don't think I'm going to hit 100 this year, even if I did them every day. Okay, so I'm going to get that letter V that I needed, and I'm just going to dip the pen into the pot to pinch a diamond. And then we need X, which is also in this one. We've not found the colour of the tray yet, but as I say, I think we've only really got one bright yellow in this painting, because of course a lot of it is shading, and I don't think it's a bright yellow that matches the tray, but we'll see how we go. So videos planned for the next week or so. Now these aren't filmed yet, so there's no guarantees that life won't get in the way and stop some of these. But it's my hope to have a kitting up video, maybe even 2, though they do take a bit longer. But I have nearly finished the fox from Mindfulness. Yeah, from the Mindfulness Company. I can't remember. I'm rubbish with names at the moment. Yeah, I've nearly finished that. So I want to kit up the custom from Manhui Rachel, the smaller custom, so that I can complete the reviews on all the custom paintings. And I've showed you, I've already of course done the video on the same picture from 4 different companies, and then I can show you what the pictures look like in a smaller size, which hopefully will give everybody enough reference points to be able to decide what works for them. But I do still have one of the smaller paintings in a 30 by 40 that needs to be kit up, so I'm hoping to get that kitted up so I can get that done, so I can get the video on it done, so that that series is complete and done and dusted. I have a couple more tips and tricks that I'm hoping to get done so that they can be shown this week. I have an unboxing from Diamond Art Club, because of course I purchased Fox Wisdom recently, and Megan wanted one. There are many paintings she loves on Diamond Art Club. Not that she's had a lot of time to diamond paint, but she's enjoying collecting them. So I've got an unboxing for a Megan's Choice Diamond Art Club, so that you can see some variety. I think it's nice as well to see, you know, people have different opinions on what is a good diamond painting, and I know that sometimes the choices I make are not the choices that others would make. So I like to take into consideration paintings that other people like, and trying to make sure that I get paintings that show that as well, just to keep the variety up for you all. Okay, going for a really dark colour here. So I do have a Diamond Art Club unboxing from Megan. And then I might do a second kitting up, because I've not quite finished a painting to be doing a kitting down. I don't have a de-kit to do until I have finished the mindfulness painting. So I might kit up the Diamond Art Club Fox, so I have that one ready to do, and I can maybe do the custom and the fox, you know, alternate or together, or I might do one and then do the other. I'm not quite sure yet, but I could kit that up so that it's ready. I'm hoping to do a craft room tour soon. I'm not sure how quick I'm going to be able to get that up, but I did do my cart tour the other week that showed how I like to store my diamond painting bits in a little mini cart that sits near me and gives me, you know, easy access to everything. That, in fact, is where some people did spot, not everybody, but some people did spot the yellow tray, this yellow tray that launches next week, because I did have my version of it stored in that cart. And yeah, it did get a couple of comments that it had been spotted. Oh, that's not what I want. I want D. How many D have we got? Oh, we've only got one. So I'm doing a little bit of diving in the pot at the moment. Doesn't need me to tip them all out. Don't need to for this. So this is the yellowest one that I've got, but it is darker. In fact, let me tip a few out. It's not quite the colour of the tray, but that's the most yellow painting this one has. So this one is 743, but it's not a match to the tray. It's close, but at least it means I can still see the diamonds that I'm using if I use the yellow tray while doing Mr. Quackers. What was I talking about? I've lost my train of thought. So yeah, I think I was on about kitting up. So I haven't got anything. Oh, craft room tour. That's what I was on about. So I did a tour of my diamond cart the other day. That shows how I use that when I'm working in the front room. I do already have a video on, you know, my actual diamond painting space and the little table that I use. You can get to that from my website under videos. I do have that link there. I'm not sure if my cart is yet linked there, but I do need to update those videos soon. I need to make sure that all the latest tips and tricks and stuff are on there. So yeah, I might kit up that other one. I'm sort of playing it by ear. It'll either be a day where I kit that up, or if I don't get the time, it might be a day where there is no video on this channel, but of course there will be a video on my other channel. I have a few unboxings that I need to film for my Add More Zest with Diamonds channel to show you guys some exciting new things, different styles of diamond paintings from different companies so that you've got choice. And yeah, that will be my plan for the rest of today, now that I have finished the WIP Chats. I need to make sure that I get it uploaded, of course. But there's a little bit more of Mr. Quackers done. Do keep watching, as say, for all those things that are coming up this week. Let me know questions, comments, even any ideas for any types of videos that you do want to see. I'll see what I can incorporate as much as I can. And yeah, that's Mr. Quackers done for now. But he will be back and we will get more of him done. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll speak to you all again soon.